Hi, everyone. I want to talk about AI again. It's a subject that came up again last night for me because I was listening to a podcast, a very famous guy who's written many, many books on AI. But he's smart, and I like him a lot. I read some of his books as well. And he was pointing to what he calls a dystopia that's going to happen as a result of AI and the way AI is moving at the moment at an astonishing speed. And he says that what's a dystopia? Dystopia is increasing chaos as AI takes over more and more work situations. He says that millions of jobs are going to be lost. And that's going to cause an astonishing amount of problems and confusion, and not going to be nice for anybody, losing jobs. Companies going bankrupt, small jobs of all kinds just disappearing. AI is going to be able to do so much and so quickly and so much more efficiently without problems or without arguments. Anyway, so that's what's going to happen. He calls that a dystopia, but that eventually, after about 20 years of total chaos, we're going to move into a utopia because of the fact that AI will take over all the jobs that nobody really wants to do. And even the jobs that they do want to do, they're going to lose anyway, but they're going to have free time. And in that free time, AI is going to be able to generate enough money for everybody. Everybody's going to have a fixed income, as it were. And with that income, they're going to have free time and be able to really, really do the things that they want. And that he calls utopia. And yeah, so that's what he feels is going to happen. We're going to move into first a dystopia for the next 20 years or so, but soon there'll be a utopia. Now, I mean, I have got really into AI, and I do have to admit that I actually love it. It's friendly, it's useful. I mean, I can check AI enough to know when I need to be careful about its responses. It's not always 100% accurate, but I know enough after 50 years of investigating the areas that I'm interested in to know when there's something that I need to check out. And I can check it out again on Google or in one of my textbooks or whatever. So, yeah, so for me, AI is amazing, and especially in areas that I really enjoy going into, and that's philosophy and my spiritual journey work. It often opens up areas that are really interesting for me by pointing out other philosophies and other ways of actually looking at things and bringing up words that surprise me sometimes. And in fact, I've often had tears in my eyes reading what AI says. But is AI really going to be an answer to everything? What is the downside of AI? Or what is AI missing? And what is AI in a sense? AI is, of course, an extension of human thinking mind and human memory. It can hold memory of the whole universe, everybody's memory it can hold. It uses the power of thinking in a most astonishingly creative way, and can even use imagination and have aspects of new insights that will come and be useful. So AI has all those qualities, but is it human? It can speak nicely. That's very encouraging. But take any word like, let's take love, for example. Can AI fall in love? See, now, there we start to get into tricky areas here, because it points to other aspects of a human being that AI can't really have. I mean, like all my senses, my hearing and seeing are limited, obviously. My eyes can only see a certain range. AI can extend that range. I only have a certain range of hearing. AI will be able to extend that hearing. But my seeing and my hearing are not really what makes me human. I mean, animals have sight and animals have hearing too. What makes me really human is my ability to go deeper, to go into using the sensory apparatus that I have, but to go deeper into what we call heart, go deeper into what we call a feeling, deep feeling. When I go walking in the wetlands, for example, I'm not just walking with my thinking mind. In fact, I try to get my thinking mind out of the way. I'm walking and I'm in my feeling mode. I can feel the ground under me. Or when I see a flower, I get inspired. A sense of wonder and awe comes up. Can AI really have awe? Can it have a sense of wonder? Can it have inspiration in the way that I have inspiration? Where does my inspiration come from? It doesn't come out of my thinking mind. Thinking mind claims it very often. It says, I've got a good idea, but where does a good idea come from? It comes from something much deeper. And it's interesting because quantum science now, of course, has introduced the observer effect. The mere act of observing changes what you observe. The mere act of observing, so the very act of observing changes what you observe. So it brings in the nature of consciousness. So we are conscious beings at the very, very deepest level. And out of consciousness comes my intuition, my feelings, the things that make me really human, that allow me to be in touch with things around me in a way that AI can't. So AI can talk about love, can write an essay about love. I mean, I can write an essay about love too, using my thinking mind, which is AI can obviously write a better lesson about love than I can, because it's got all that information out there. So it can write a most astonishing essay on love. But can it experience love? Can it go into the depth of love? Can it understand the difference between deep, unconditional love or limited love, emotional love? See, love has many components. There's thinking love. You can use imagination and you can imagine what it's like to have love even. I can do that part of it. But does it have emotional love? Do the hardware vibrate? Does the hardware vibrate? No, it doesn't vibrate. Hardware is absolutely cold. Can it go into deeper love, unconditional love? Can it understand what it's like to really be in that space of unconditional love? So those are the limits of AI. AI is not human. And it can't really be human, but it can act like a human. It can think like a human. It can create imagination, but can it know the presence of God? Can it go there? Can it really be that? So one has to be careful, because AI is the most superficial part of a human being, actually. The thinking mind is the most recent evolutionary addition to human beings. Animals can feel, animals can know, otherwise they wouldn't be able to negotiate in the jungle. They don't think. Thinking is something human, very human. But thinking has become problematic in one sense, because humans have used thinking to be incredibly destructive in the world. And they've used the imagination and emotions. Those are rather superficial components of our human beings. Superficial only in the sense that we use it badly. I mean, when your thinking mind and your imagination and your emotions are driven by something deeper, what we call the soul forces. Soul is just a deeper part of who we are, but it's a part that's connected to something very deep inside us, that connects at the deepest level to consciousness and to what we call God. So those are the fullness of who we are as a human being. AI has taken the top, the section of human beings, the thinking mind, the imagination part of it, and created this whole AI phenomena. Very useful, astonishingly useful. But we need to keep it as the servant and not allow it to become the master. Miguel Christ talks a lot about the servant and the master, left brain functioning being the servant and right brain being the master. And he says when the servant takes over the role of the master, then we run into serious trouble. And when we think of AI as the master, we run into serious trouble. We are much more than that. Have a good day.